Everyone. Um, Today we are going to discuss about one of the important security tool, which is called GitLeaks. So, like, it prevents you to put the secrets into the GitHub repository. Actually, yeah, that is the main uh, the functionality of this particular GitLeaks. So, as a DevOps engineer, um, as a developer, as a developer, okay, and any AI engineers, like whoever pushing the code, okay, from local to the repo, so they must have this particular tool in their machines, actually, in their machine. So they must have this particular tool. Why? We will discuss about that. Okay, so before going into deeper, we will discuss, why do we need the security? Okay, so for example, you have an application. Okay, so you have an application. Okay, so you have an application, and where the customers are accessing your application through the internet. Okay, through the internet they will be accessing your application. So in the same time, okay, in the same time, okay, in the same time, so there is a one person who will be scanning this internet, who will be scanning this internet, okay, for looking for the any vulnerabilities, looking for any vulnerabilities. So what is this vulnerability? So it is a weakness weakness of your application or database, or any which where the sensitive information will be there. Okay, so weakness, they'll be exploit this by hacker, and they'll come into your system, right? So securing your application is one of the important and crucial, right? You have to secure your application. So this is one of the crucial thing for you. Not only for securing your application, you need to take care of your DB, and you need to secure your infra, and you need to take care of the all the secrets. Okay, so you need to do all these things to be secured, right? Okay, so making sure that so there will be no vulnerabilities, there will be no chance for this particular fellow or bad actor, so not having chance to come into our machine. Okay, so if there are any vulnerabilities exposed in our application or DB or infra and any secrets, so what happens? There will be a security critical security issue come, right? So if any vulnerability is exposed, so that will be exploited by this particular hacker. Okay, so for example, you put AWS secret keys, AWS keys in your code. Okay, in your code. Okay, so in your code, and this particular guy is got those keys, right? So if any hacker get these keys, what happens? He might be do the data theft, right? And he'll be deleting the resources, like our EC2 machines, download balancer. He can delete them, right? Or he can like create the resources with the bots, so where you will get huge amount. Okay, so if there are any sensitive information, like if you're working on bank, so payment history, payment details like username, password, OTP, he'll be bypassing those into their machines, right? So for that reason, like to making sure that there will be no vulnerabilities, right? So and um, and also there is one more thing, the developers will create the code, right? Generally developers will write the code, right? So what they'll do, so they'll write 10 to 20% code, for example. 10 to 20% they'll write the code. They'll write the code where they'll follow the all the possibilities where there will be no vulnerabilities, right? There will be no vulnerabilities, right? If you are a good developer, so you will not allow this bad actor come into your machine, right? So what the developer will do in the same time, they'll be downloading the libraries, right? They'll be using libraries, modules which are predefined. Predefined means somebody has written the code and they'll push into the public centralized systems. So from that we will be pulling them and we'll be using in our code, right? So we don't know what exactly there in this particular code, right? So that's the reason, like, so for example, if it is like 20 to 80% of the code, right? 20 to 80% of the code you will be getting from this modules or libraries, right? So nowadays AI is writing the code, right? Vibe coding and all, like, so we don't know, like, so like it is giving the code. If you ask, I want to write a TikTok toy application, it is writing the complete code of Python, right? So we don't know where what version modules they are using. So AI might get those modules whatever trained from the data, right? So it may get old modules where vulnerability is exposed. So during that time, like, so we don't scan anything, right? We don't do any security testings over there. If we don't do that security testing, so where we will be giving the opportunity to hack or to come into our machines, right? Am I correct? So that's the reason, like, so that is the reason. And also imagine you are working on one of the requirement, right? So we are working on one of the application requirement, okay? So where developer is working in his local machine, so what generally the developers will do, so instead of hard coding the values, okay, so they'll be creating local.env, they'll be adding the local.env, or they'll be creating the .env files in their local machines, right? So in this env file, they'll be writing all the secrets, like writing the AWS keys, AWS secrets, open AI keys, and GitHub tokens. They'll be writing all these tokens, right? GitHub tokens, private keys. They'll be writing all these required secrets into this particular env. So sometimes what imagine, like, so for example, if this particular env file has been pushed to GitHub, this particular environment file has been pushed to the GitHub repo, okay? So we don't know, right? Like, so how many like members or employees are accessing by this particular repo. So there might be 200 employees, 200 employees might have access for this repo, so they'll be accessing this env. So maybe we don't know, right? Like, who is the bad actor, right? Like, who is the hacker, like, who is the bad guy. So if this any particular bad guy in these 200 fellows, they'll be sharing this particular envs to the outside, right? Outside. So if this particular env go outside, okay, so what it means, it may go into the bad fellow, right? It may go into the bad actor hand. So what this bad actor will do, so he'll come into our system and he'll destroy the our application, or accessing our data. So where the data will be very secure, should be very secure. So he'll be taking that all the sensitive information, right? So that's the reason. Because of this reason, what we need to follow, okay, what we need to follow. So we need to create, okay, we need to create the best practice. One of the first best practice what developers need to follow, they need to create a git ignore file, dot git ignore file. So what this git ignore file will do, so it will tell to the git, so whatever the files we are going to write in this dot ignore file, you don't need to track, don't track those files. Like for example, if I keep .env file into this git ignore file, or else if I keep .terraform file, don't track this file. Okay, so let it be. You can ignore these particular files. Okay, so if you keep these files into this particular git ignore, so you if you use git push, so these files will not push to the repo. Actually, these files will not push to the git repo, because these files will not be tracked by the git. So whatever the files tracked by the git, those files only will move to the GitHub. So we have resolved this particular issue, right? So like for example, if there is a file, not only .env, if there is a files, so which are where developers have keep the secret information, or they'll be writing the secrets into the Python. For example, if you take a Python application, they'll be writing the those secrets into the Python code as a hard coded value. Like so, where they'll be writing where they'll be directly writing to the those secrets into the Python code actually. So that is the reason what people used to do. So they'll be using pre-commit. One of the functionality they were using, so pre-commit actually. So they were using the pre-commit. So what this pre-commit will do, so like we will add the condition here. Like we will add the condition, like for example, if you have AWS keys, okay, we will add this condition in this pre-commit. Okay, so we will so if this particular variable come with this aik something, so we'll add this condition to here. If we will write the script here. Okay, so if you find like once you add, okay, once you add this code to the staging area using git add, okay, once you add that, so what we will do generally, when they will do the git commit, right? Then we will do the git commit. So whenever you do the git commit, this pre-hook will called actually. Okay, what this pre-hook will do, so whatever the scripts we have written inside this pre-hook, so those scripts will execute, and it will check whether this particular API AWS secrets, this secrets have been configured into the our application code or not. Like if it finds, it will not allow the git commit. Actually the git commit will fail. So it will say that this the credentials have been found. Okay, the credentials have been found. Okay, so like so what is the disadvantage with the pre-commit is, like so you have written this AWS keys, maybe you have defined OpenAI key, for example, OpenAI API key, right? OpenAI API key, or else you might be defined GitHub token in your application hard coded value. So how can we define this, right? So you need to write one more condition in the pre-commit. Okay, so for example, if you write the condition like if like if any variable if any like for example, if AWS key equal to this particular key, so then credentials found. So again we need to write the condition, right? So if any OpenAI key found, so credentials found. So you need to write all these conditions. Like so we don't know, right? Like so how many conditions we need to write, every time we need to write, right? So and earlier what people used to do, this particular they were following this particular pre-commit functionality actually. So for everybody should follow this particular naming convention. They must use these secrets to be scanned and tokens to be scanned. So they used to write all these conditions in this pre-commit actually. So but like we don't know, right? Like so this pre-commit we cannot push this code to the GitHub repository. Okay, so if there are 200 developers, we are not sure, like so all the making sure that all the 200 developers are using the pre-commit, right? So they might be missing those pre-commit, so they'll be pushing that code to the GitHub repository, right? So because of this reason, so what what people has come, like there is a tool called GitLeaks. So GitLeaks has the capability to find out the all the secrets, whatever the API keys, AWS keys, tokens, private keys. So whatever it is, like, so it will find out those security information by these GitLeaks actually. Okay, so for example, so we can define GitLeaks in a different ways actually. We can set up GitLeaks in a different ways. So one of the important and where enterprise companies will follow is like the first one is they'll be integrating with the pre-commit with the GitLeaks. They'll be integrating this pre-commit with the GitLeaks. Why? Why can't we use these GitLeaks individually? So we can use. For example, there is another way we can use directly GitLeaks. Okay, so why this is not best practice? Like, so whenever the developer use the git add command, so immediately they must execute this git leaks command. Okay, so if any developers missed out to execute this command, what happens? The secrets will go into the next step, right? That's the reason you like this is I'm not saying that like, so don't use this, we can use, but if you have 200 developers, we are not sure like 200 developers are using these GitLeaks, right? Okay, so if you use this GitLeaks in your machine with the 1.2 version, and there is another developer, he's also using the GitLeaks, so he'll be using 4.8 for example. So this is the conflict with the where multiple developers are working in the same team, right? So that's the reason. Okay, so the third one would be like using Docker. Okay, so how do we use this Docker as a GitLeaks? Okay, so we will see all these scenarios, but the recommended way would be like integrating pre-commit framework, pre-commit framework with GitLeaks. Okay, so why this is recommended for any for all the companies? Because we will see that actually. Okay, so first we will see how dot git ignore to use. Okay, dot git ignore, and we will see how to use GitLeaks on our terminal, and then we will see how to use this GitLeaks inside the pre-commit hook. Okay, inside this pre-commit as a command and as a docker. How do we run? Okay, so we will see all of them actually. Okay, so for this so what I'll do, I'll go ahead and uh, create a new repository. So let me go ahead and create the new repository. So I'm just going ahead and creating GitLeaks demo. Okay. So I'm just doing this. Okay, so let me open my terminal. Let me open my terminal. Okay, so uh, let me go to downloads, and then here I can create GitLeaks demo. Okay, so go ahead and go here. So let me follow these steps. So whatever the Git is proposing to use, and then let me get in it, add git add commit an m, add it. Okay, so git branch, git branch -m main. Okay, so now git remote add origin. Let me take this. Okay. So now git push origin. What it is saying? Um, sorry, git push origin main. Okay, so it is pushing. Okay, so now we will see. Let me open Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let me go ahead and use the new window. Um, okay, so let me go ahead and open the folder which is there in the downloads, and I'm just going here and me go here. Okay, so now this is the file, right? So now I'm working as a developer. So the developer is working on one of the development requirement for their application. So what people used to do, so they'll create .env files in their local machine. Okay, they'll create .env files. Okay, they'll write some secret. They'll write some kind of secrets like this. Let me take any this one. I'll take this one. I'm just keeping it here. Okay, so they have written this particular key. Okay, so where they are using like they can also add OpenAI key, GitHub token. So those kind of keys they can add actually. Like if you use GitHub token, GitHub to GitHub underscore token. So they'll add this kind of the secrets in their machine, in their local environments. Okay, so now if you go ahead and like push these changes. Okay, if you push these changes, okay, if you push these changes, okay, so what happens, like the secrets will be go into the GitHub repository. So your GitHub repository might be accessing by queues members, right? So we don't know who is good and who is good actor and who is bad actor. Like if your environment variable shared by offline or outside of the world, outside of your organization, then that will be a serious problem, right? So so if you use once you add them, if you use git add and if you use git commit. So let me added. So now I'm just go ahead and push this. Sorry, it's missing. Oh, so it is pushed. Okay, so it is pushed, and if you go here and you can see the environment variables. I can see this .env file. So in your organization, right? So most of the people will accessing this particular repo, and they can see this. If they can open this, they can see this. These are very confidential secrets which every organization is using, right? If they get AWS access a secret key, then what they'll do, they'll come into your machine and they can do whatever they want. They can delete the resources, they can create the resources, they can delete your applications, whatever they want to do, they can do. So that's what we need to do. So what we need to do, so I don't want to push this .env files. Okay, I don't want to put all these files into the repository. Okay, I don't want to put all these files actually. Okay, so that's what like. So let me get add, and let me. I'm just deleting it from the repository as well. Okay, so git sorry. Okay, so git push r is in main. Okay, so the file will be deleted from the file will be deleted from here. Okay, so even if you see here, go to the commits. Okay, if you go to uh, any file, so everybody can see this, right? So this is what like, so where uh, you need to take care of them. Like, so even if you delete from the file you have deleted from the GitHub repository, but you are seeing this details in your git commit history, right? So this is what we wanted to scan every time actually. So this is what the security needed. Okay, so what we can do now, we'll create the same file. Let me go ahead and I'm just creating this file. Okay, so now if you see git status. Okay, so this file need to be tracked. Okay, so this is right now it is untracked file actually. Like, so if you want this file to not tracked by the git, so what you need to do, so you need to create the dot git ignore file. You need to create the dot git ignore file. Okay, so if you create this dot git ignore file, what it will say to git, so you don't need to track this whatever the files I have in it actually. So if you mention .env, so you don't need to track these .env files. Okay, you don't need to track these files. Okay, so now if we see git status, now if you see git status, see, you are not seeing this any .env file, right? You are seeing just a git ignore file. Okay, so let me add this dot ignore file in the remote repository. Then we can see whether this .env file is, you can see this file in the remote repository or not. Okay, so let me go ahead and use, and let me push. Okay, so now let me go ahead and see on the remote repository. Like, let me refresh here. So you can see you are not seeing any .env file. So it means what you are seeing to telling this particular .git ignore file to git. So don't track whatever the files I have in it actually. So now this is one of the best practice you need to follow. Like, so whenever you start in any company, so you must start this dot ignore dot. If your repo is not having any dot git ignore file, so create it, and whatever the files need not to push to git repo, so just keep it all these files. Like, if you are working as a developer, DevOps engineer, so where you are working on Terraform, so Terraform will create the .terraform file, right? Like, so if you keep if you don't keep this .terraform file, so this data will be this .terraform file will be having the all the metadata. Okay, downloading the modules, everything. This size will be huge actually. So if you keep this .terraform, like, your repository size also will be increased, right? So this, like, keeping this .terraform file into the repository, it doesn't make sense. So you don't require to keep this .terraform file into the Git repository actually. So you can keep all whatever the files you want to, you don't want to push into the GitHub repository. Okay, so now, so like, so this is having .env, and it is not having any it is not pushing to the like uh, GitHub repository, right? So now how can we use pre-commit now? Okay, how can we use pre-commit? Like, so whenever we are doing commit, so there should be one hook to be triggered, so that should check all your the staged files and commit history, staged history, and it will verify whether is there any like secrets have been like, keep that secrets onto that files are having the secrets or not. It should scan and it should say that actually. So how can we use them? How can we use them? So for this, like, so what I'll do, so I'll create one file. Let me I'll just keeping it in secrets dot env, or I'm just keeping this file as a env. Okay, so you can keep .txt as well, like, but I'm taking it, I'm considering it as secrets.env. Okay, so so before commit, it should say that, like, there are security, the secrets are configured in the specific file, and you are trying to push to the GitHub repository. So what you need to do is uh, you don't want to push secrets to GitHub repository, and it should verify is there any hard coded values, and your files are having any secrets in your files. So you need to verify them, you need to scan them, right? Like, so every time you may ask, like, so whenever we raise the PR, there is a like a lead or manager who will be reviewing our code. They should take care of they should take care of the secrets, right? So but if you are working as, if you in your company, people are working 200 fellows, they'll be raising 500 commits in every day, so it will be very difficult to go through the every file and finding the secrets in our the programming files, or any DevOps files, or any AI related files. So it will be very difficult for humans, right? So that's what the people are moving into the tools side, right? So where don't need to go through all the files, verify the secrets and all. So now let me go to there is a file, the directory .git in your repo. So whenever you initialize .git in it, so this folder will be created, it will be having all the metadata. So let me go to hooks, um, and pre-commit. There is a pre-commit file. If the file is not there, just go ahead and this will create. Okay, so I'm just creating it. Okay, so I'm just keeping this this shell script in my uh, here actually. So I'll keep all these scripts into the GitHub repo. So in the future you can verify them actually. Okay, so let me go ahead and check um, it will be scanned or not. Okay, so I just added, and let me give permission to the file, like chmod plus x. Okay, so I just given this, and let me add, let me check the git status, so you can see this secrets.env. Like, let me add to the stage, and let me commit it. Okay, let me commit it, fnm add it. Okay, so now it is saying it is blocking, it is not able to it is not allowing me to do the commit. So what happens, like, so whenever you do the commit, so there is a one hook will be triggered. That hook has the um, uh, script that see. So it will take all the staged commits, and it will scan. This pre-commit hook will scan all your files, and it will check is there any secrets have been configured in the files or not, and then it will finding that credentials, and it will not allowing you to do the commit. So that's what the pre-commit will work actually. So like, you may get some doubt, right? Like, so, like, like, if you have any other secrets, okay, OpenAI key, GitHub key. So right now it is taking only GitHub credentials, right? Like, so if you have any file naming convention, like, so people should use this kind of file name convention. So these kind of conditions, earlier what they need to do, they used to write a lot of conditions actually. So they used to write a lot of conditions here. So in this script, so if it is AWS secret key, that is fine. If there is a KPN key, so just go ahead and pick them. Okay, so if there are any file naming convention, add one more condition. So this is what people used to do that actually, but it will be very difficult, right? So to manage, you cannot share these git hooks pre-commit file to your team members, right? Since it is local for you, so you cannot push to GitHub repository, right? So that's what we moved. Okay, so there is a tool called GitLeaks. So we integrate that GitLeaks with the pre-commit. So before we discuss how do we integrate GitLeaks with pre-commit framework. Okay, so we can see how can we use the GitLeaks in your local machine. So what is the disadvantage if you use GitLeaks alone on your laptop? Okay, so for example, you installed GitLeaks, so you are like so whenever you do git add and then you must execute GitLeaks command. So we are not sure, right? Like so whether sometimes what people will do, like they'll use git add and git commit and push. Okay, so if they forgot to like scan this, if you don't use this GitLeaks command, so what happens, like this the secrets will be pushed to the GitHub repository, right? Okay, GitHub repository. So um, that's what like so where we integrate these GitLeaks inside your repo. Like so if you use git hooks inside this, you can use the GitLeaks. Okay, GitLeaks script. Okay, so what is the disadvantage with this? So you need to like so since you are working on a multiple working with a multiple developers. Okay, so you must share with this particular file to the your team, right? So then only they can use this, right? So and also if you are using GitLeaks like 80.1 for example, so if other guy using 3.81.2 for example, so there will be a version conflict, right? So this will work differently, this will work differently. So that's what you must install this GitLeaks in your machine, then you this will work. So and you cannot share, you will not share this file to your team members, right? So this is what the disadvantage if you use GitLeaks alone, and if you use GitLeaks with inside the hooks in your repository. Okay, so and there is another way we can see that. Okay, so we can see that actually. So then we can proceed with the best approach. So okay, so let me go ahead and let me clear the screen. Okay, so let me install the review install. GitLeaks. Let me install this GitLeaks. Okay, so it has been installed. Okay, this has been installed. Okay. So now I can use this GitLeaks, right? So I can use this particular GitLeaks. So how can we use, like so using GitLeaks? Okay, so if you want to scan your current repository, okay, so just you need to use GitLeaks, GIR. Then if you use dot, it means the current repository, like it will scan. See, there are it is saying that there are 8 leaks. It means there are 8 credentials, 8 secrets have been are there in your files. Okay, that's what it is saying. Like so if you use hyphen verbose, okay, it will give you the clear description actually. So where your file is, where your secrets have been configured. Okay, it will give that actually. Okay, it will give that clear description about the output actually. So where is the secret have been configured, which in which file it has been configured. Okay, so if for example you want to scan the staged files. You want to scan your staged files, for example. So what you need to do, so git leaks. So you need to use git as a sub command. Okay, so hyphen pre-commit, like it means it should run as a pre-commit. Okay, pre-commit hook. Okay, hyphen stage, it should it should use the staged files to be scanned. Okay, so in a clear output I want, if you use this, so it will say there are four leaked, whatever the files have been pushed to the stage, right? It is saying that there are four leaks are found. Four leaks are found, right? Four leaks are found. Okay, so how these git leaks work? So git leaks, git, it says git command will says to git leaks, you work like a git. Okay, so you must like you work like a git aware of git awareness. You have the knowledge on git, so use that. So it means it will GitLeaks will execute git log, git diff, get all the commands in the backend. Under the hood, it will use the git logs, git diff. Those commands will be executed by GitLeaks. Okay, so this is what like it will scan your all the history of your staged file. Okay, so if you use complete repo, so GitLeaks, if you want to scan complete query, so you must use the. Okay, so it will scan all the three whatever the commits have been pushed are there in your repository. It will scan all your commits. Okay, so what is the disadvantage with this? So you must execute this command every time, right? You must execute this these commands every time. Okay, as a developer, so you have to verify, because since you'll be working on multiple team members where all the team members are pushing the code and you'll be pulling them and you're working. So if if you don't use this kind of tools, your secrets will be pushed to the GitHub repository. Okay, and you need to execute this command alone for every time. Okay, so instead of this, okay, we can keep this command inside the pre-commit hook. Okay, then see how it will work. Okay, then see how it will work. Okay, so let me go to the let me take like if you want to generate any report, right? If you want to generate any report, so let me copy this. So if you want to generate any remote, so um, you must use this command. Okay, so git leaks, and what is the format, sarif, JSON text. You can generate whatever the report you want. Okay, it will see it has generated the report in GitHub Actions or Jenkins. So you will generate a report and you will share with this a security team to review that. Okay, you will share with the development team. They can review where the secrets have been configured. Okay, so how can we use these git leaks inside the hooks? Okay, let me open the hooks. Okay, I'm just going here. I'm just deleting this for now. Okay, so I'll just add just I'll just add one of the this one. Add this. Okay, so here, so now git status. Okay, so there are this is secrets.env is new file, right? So let me add. So let me do the git commit one m, add it. So now I have changed commit like pre-commit with git leaks command, right, inside that. Okay, so see, it is running, right? It is running. Okay, so it is running. So it is finding. So so you observed in the earlier output, you people are seeing these tokens, right? So for example, you are working on a GitHub Actions. If you execute this command on the GitHub Actions, so whoever have that like um, permission to see the GitHub Actions output or logs, so they can clearly see your secrets. They can clearly see your secrets. Okay, so instead of what you need to do, so you need to use the redact, re redact. You need to use the redact. Okay, so how can we use that redact? Okay, so let me if I execute this, so you can clearly see this output, right? So where you can see, where a human can see these secrets. So instead of that, what you need to do, so you need to add the redact. Redact. Okay, so now you can see, people cannot see this. You will come to know there are some secrets. Okay, so then you can go ahead and fix that. So now, even if you give that redact into the GitHub actions, you know, like even people will go inside your logs, they cannot see your secrets. Okay, since you are using redact. So this is way you need to secure your GitHub action. So this is the one of the best practice to use. So whenever you use this GitLeaks in your GitHub actions, you must prefer to use the redact. Then only the people will see your secrets. What are the secrets have been configured? Okay, so this is the one of the way. Okay, so we use GitLeaks with the pre-commit. Okay, because we cannot push this dot git hooks folder to the GitHub repository. Okay, so that is the reason. Okay, so how can we what will be the another scenario? Okay, so we can use the Docker. We can use the Docker. Okay, so like if you are working 10 developers are working. Okay, so they must run the Docker in their, they must install the Docker in their machines. Okay, okay, if anybody not using this Docker, the secrets will be pushed to the GitHub repository. So that's what, this is not like preferred option. So some people using the Docker, some people not using the Docker in their machines, then this will be not best practice to use the Docker, right? But we will see how we use this Docker inside the uh, pre-commit. Okay, you can execute directly command. I'm just going ahead and explaining this. Okay, so let me use the Docker one as well. Like this, let me take this script. I'll share this script. Okay, you can go through it. I'm just going ahead. It will this condition will check whether the Docker has been installed in your machine or not. Okay, so then it will run. Okay, thank you. Now let me do any commit. Okay, let me do any commit. So Docker is not running, so let me start the Docker as well. Okay, so I'm just starting the Docker. Okay, so now go ahead and Docker has been started. And if you go ahead and do the commit, so now the Docker executed, and you can see uh, this many uh, secrets have been scanned. These many secrets have been scanned. Okay, so this is also not a recommended way to use. Okay, so what is the recommended way then? What is the recommended way to use? Okay, so there is a free the integration like git leaks with pre-commit hook framework. Pre-commit hook framework. Okay, so you must use this pre-commit hook, like so where you will create the dot pre-commit dot config file. Okay, so you will create this file, and you will give the git leaks uh, GitLeaks details in this pre-config file, and you can push this file to the GitHub repository, GitHub repo. Okay, then the other developers also can pull this file, and they need to execute pre-commit install. So this will be installed as a hook in their machine, their machine. Okay, so how can we do this? How can we do this? Okay, let me go ahead and see uh, mm, pre-commit. So if we go here, so you can see. how to install. Like if you are using Windows, so you can directly use pip install and then you can start actually. So now let me go ahead and install this. So Brave install pre-commit pre-commit. You will install the pre-commit. Okay. So what you need to do? So you need to create the so you need to create one file. Okay, you need to create one file. So that file called um, okay. So let me create this file. Okay, let me create this file. Okay, so vim, and if you use inside this, I'm just keeping this, just keeping this. Okay, so then you need to do the pre-install, pre-commit install. You need to execute this one, this one. Okay, so and this is done. So it is created. See, pre-commit installed at a .git. Like so, if you go ahead and see vim vim, you can see has been added, by the that particular file. Okay, so let me go ahead and add any commits, do the any commits, to any commits. So let me do this. See, it has been detected by GitLeaks, that particular config file. Okay, so and you can push this file, to the GitHub repository, and the other developers also can take that file. Okay, so now if you use git add, git commit fnm added, now again it will execute. Okay, again it will execute. What I'll do for now, so I'm just deleting this secrets to move pre-config file to the uh, this is like generally we don't do deletion of this environment variables, right? So we will use the gitleaks.toml, like where you will define or else gitleaks.ignore, where we don't want to scan this kind of secrets. Okay, so let me add again git commit m added. Now, it is scanned by the it is scanning by from the okay. So it has been scanned from the report.json file. Like let me delete that file as well. Go ahead and let me add it again and commit again. Now git push origin main. Okay, so it has been pushed. Now you can see, you can go ahead and see your repo. That file must be here. Okay, see. So now the other fellows can pull this, and they need to just execute pre-commit instead. Okay, this is the way. This is the way we use pre-commit in their machine. Okay, so this is how the GitLeaks works. Okay, thank you very much.